I must compliment IRIS for continuing this initiative on focusing on Women Leadership and Growth Summit 2026. It is a very important subject, and I'm sure that you will continue this and continue to widen its impact, because unless we bring more women into recognized roles, you will not be able to achieve Viksit Bharat 2047. And that we need to be clear. I don't know how many of you know, but women have a very tough time in India. Let me talk about the foreign service to which I belonged. Do you know, in the early years after independence, if a woman was competent to qualify for the foreign service, she had to remain unmarried. If she decided to get married, she would have to resign, not her husband. We lost very good officers in the early years after independence because of this rule. By and by, this changed, of course, and by the time we were ambassadors, I had colleagues who did not shirk from difficult stations. So when I went to Libya in Gaddafi's time, our ambassador was a lady. She was later the ambassador in strife-torn Sudan. Another batchmate of mine was ambassador in Lebanon when the first Israeli attacks took place. And both these colleagues I'm talking about arranged massive evacuations of Indians from Libya and from Lebanon, that later they were given the Prime Minister's commendation for doing a great job for Indians overseas. Now, nobody at that stage said that this job could only be done by a man. Our women officers showed that they were as good a man as any. I think we have had 3 lady foreign secretaries, but today, when I go to address young foreign service officers, there are so many women among them. Earlier we used to count, out of 20, are there 1, are there 2? Now out of 40, sometimes the majority are women. That is the change I have seen. So this glass ceiling has been broken, and also today, women don't look only for the good postings. They are quite happy to go and work in hard stations. In fact, till a few days ago, our senior most diplomat in Pakistan is a lady. And the first time, I mean, she was not the ambassador because we don't have relations at ambassador level, but she was the senior most, the charge, and she's coming back now. So they have all done a marvelous job. Secondly, more and more women in the services are marrying other service people. Now, originally, this was a recipe for disaster because you could never be together. But today, both spouses serve the country in different capacities and carry on. They found ways to lead lives. Similarly, if you look at our space mission, it's full of women at the top. A change. Who could have imagined even 10 years ago? But I think our attention needs to be more focused on leadership in executive India, in company boards and management of companies. You are a fortunate company, you have Sagarika as the CEO. I think this has to be emulated by many more companies. There was a rule which came in maybe 10 years ago, a little more than that, that you must have women independent directors on every board. Now, the rule is largely complied with. But even with that only 21% of independent directors on listed companies in India are women. Only 21%. That's an improvement on the past, but it's very low. Similarly, if you come to key management personnel, it's hardly 10%. And when you come to CEOs and MDs, you come down to 3%. So you are a very progressive company that you have a CEO in the 3 to 4%. Well done. So this is not working because rules lead to improvement, but the breakthrough comes when your heart is in it, and that heart is not yet in it. Secondly, the startup culture has really improved the access of women to key management personnel jobs. They are founders, they are leaders, many such things. But again, the total numbers are not much better than listed companies. They're still in the 20s when it comes to boards, still in the 10 to 15% when it comes to being CEOs or key management personnel. So I think many more women are showing the push. What they need is support to push, not because they are women, but because they are competent. So I think I would conclude by simply reminding you that if you want to grow, you must learn to use the talent, the leadership, and the resilience of women whose leadership is undoubted and without any constraint.